Transparent Podcast. What's up, fam, guys? So right now we have here an absolute legend. I've been looking forward to having this podcast with this guy because to be completely real with y'all, you were literally one of my like biggest inspirations when I first started out like lifting by far. Like I remember looking at your shit and I don't know if it was college. My ex, I feel like my ex actually showed you the videos first because she was like hella Asian and I was actually from a super white town like Arkansas and Texas, and then I went to Purdue and there was a lot more Asian, so she like basically introduced me to everything Asian, including you. And I just
shout out to your ex.
Yeah. And so I think this is kind of neat because you know all these years later I'm here talking to like one of my big inspos, and I remember even meeting you at an expo. I can't remember if it was the Arnold Expo or something. Maybe
it was the Arnold.
Yeah, and you were there with
for those guys. Yeah,
you were there with Alpha, right? Alpha.
I was there. Yeah.
What is the brand called?
Alpha Clothing.
Alpha Clothing. Okay.
Alpha Clothing. Yeah. So now and I go way back. Like that must have been like what 2015, maybe 2016.
Yeah,
maybe?
Something like that. Yeah, definitely.
Dude, yeah, I don't remember the years, but yeah, I remember you would come around the Alpha booth with you'd usually have like two girls with you, just Tengan style.
Tengan style.
Tengan style, just roll it up, and yeah, you'd have like the earrings and stuff, and yeah, I think you bought us something. You bought us like donuts or something, or you'd always like bring us like gifts and whatnot. So I think Tata, the owner, would hook you up with like shirts and whatever. And we would go after a party and whatever, you'd come out. And I think that's like how the whole relationship started building, right?
To be honest, I don't really remember the gifts part unless that was like my ex or something, but
might have been someone else. Might have been totally someone else.
Possibly.
But yeah.
I do know my ex was a very giving person,
this
though.
is like...
What was that?
Oh, might have been her. Yeah, but to be honest, this is one of my first like sit down podcast I'm doing ever, and yeah, it's kind of cool to do it with you, because I know you've been following me for a long time. I know, like, it's cool just to see your come up. You started, we met you in like 2015, 2016, and just to see your ascension into the social media world and just taking over with your workouts and everything, and even just your physique, your FBB Pro card. It's been super inspirational for even me as well.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot. That means genuinely a lot. Seriously, especially coming from you. So one of the reasons that I really was enjoying, I was really excited by having you on this podcast is one thing that I want to do with this podcast that is a little bit different from all the other podcasts and episodes that I've been doing with a lot of other people is speaking out for the Asian community, essentially. Because the Asian community has never really been well represented in fitness for a long period of time, and honestly, if anything, only recently. And literally, not in my beliefs, it's 100% factual, but literally as of only recently, the last several years, have Asians had some sort of like cultural come up. You know what I mean? Some kind of social acceptance that has happened here in America, and I think we can owe that to things such as K-pop. Anime, all sorts of these things, but like back then when you and I were doing stuff and creating fitness and all this shit, like, dude, nobody did any of that. Nobody read anime. Nobody read mangas. Nobody watched anime. In fact, I don't know about you, but I was heavily bullied. I was like heavily bullied when I was a kid just for literally reading a manga on the bus. So I don't know. I'm curious, like, what is your upbringing like? Like, what was your experience like being an Asian? And weren't you in like New York or?
So I'm born and raised from Hawaii, and then I moved to New York, and that's kind of where I took off on social media. Okay. That was kind of like the change that I needed. So yeah, my whole life I was born and raised in Hawaii. For those of you guys who haven't been to Hawaii, it's heavily Asian populated. So like, I don't think I'd be like the best person to talk about. I didn't really feel like, I guess, how people could be towards Asians till I moved to New York. Because here in Hawaii, I think like 70-80% of the population is at least part Asian.
I see.
So so growing up, I was more bullied just because I was small, to be honest. I was just that small, skinny kid, and that's why I was bullied. It wasn't because I was Asian or anything else like that, But then, yeah, I remember when I first started, like, there was no Asians. Like, people didn't think Asians had the genetics to be big.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember when I first started YouTube, I would go through, like, hundreds of comments that were saying, like, oh, he's got to be have steroids. Asians don't have the genetics to get big. They just cannot grow muscle and something like that. And I remember reading that, just being like, oh, my God, you know?
Bro.
Like, people really think that way.
People will literally accuse anyone of anything that causes them, like, a threat, especially to their ego. You know, like, even before I started gear or any steroids or anything, I was being accused constantly of taking steroids, which I think is fucking crazy. You know, it's literally fucking ridiculous. But, you know, it just kind of goes to show you that no matter who you are, there's always going to be people that are going to assume something because it might make them feel just a tad bit better.
No, 100%. 100%. So what year did you start? Like, did you make the jump?
The jump into the dark side. I would say that was probably, it was around my last couple of competitions. So I did 9 shows and almost all of them I did natural. And the issue with that was every time I would go, like, I won my regional shows totally natural. The show that I won first place that qualified me, the only thing that I took that was a change from the previous 2 shows is this pill that you could buy off of Amazon called Expel. And for some reason that worked really well for me to dry me out. I'm assuming because I'm maybe a little bit more endomorphic than others, so I tend to carry a little bit more water weight. It's harder for me to look leaner.
Is it like a diuretic?
It's a diuretic. Something? It's like potassium, dandelion root, and all this shit.
Okay.
And I like that was that qualified me for nationals, right? And then I competed in nationals like maybe that's 3 shows, and then maybe another 3 or 4 times. And each time I competed, maybe 3 times. And each time I competed, I got 16th plus place, which basically means I wasn't even placed.
Whoa.
You know, like I wasn't even competitive in any sort of sense. And if I'm going to be totally real, my coach at the time was constantly like saying, you know, you should probably take these. This is going to make you a lot more competitive, because in reality, it's going to be extremely hard, if not near impossible, to win your pro card without having something. So he would push this, and I would always be like, no, like I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to start this. Like, even though I would see other physiques that I admired, even like Sergi Constance's physique that I knew was, you know, on gear to some extent, I just didn't want to do that for myself. And so I continued to say no, but every single time I competed at nationals and just absolutely in my eyes failed and didn't place nearly as well as the others, it would just put me down more and more and more. And I would just get so down on myself. Like this is my dream. This is everything I've ever wanted, but I can't even acquire it because it's just like out of my reach right now. And then finally, at one point, he was pushing on some of these things, and he was also pushing, I don't want to say who it is, obviously, but he was also pushing something called AIs, aromatase inhibitors, such as Arimidex, and in informing me that these aren't steroids, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can take these because these aren't steroids. So I started taking those first before I even took any gear, at which, you know, in hindsight now, I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking ridiculous. I can't believe I took AIs without any gear, without any test.
Is that worse than gear? Harry, so like, so is AIs worse than gear?
Well, I mean, for the fact that I wasn't taking an AI without any gear or anything, I was literally suppressing my estrogen just so I could look lean for stage for the last 2 weeks. But I didn't know that's what I was doing. That was just what my coach was giving me.
Oh.
And then
So you're supposed to stack it with the steroids.
Right.
The AI.
Yeah. And then he was basically trying to push these orals to me as well, because I was also like scared of injecting, and I was like, I had this dumb idea that, and in the past, you know, gear was like a lot less people knew a lot less about gear back in the past. So there was this 100%. Perception from a lot of people that if you have to inject yourself, then that gear is actually way more intense than like a pill. like if you have to inject yourself, that's obviously the hardcore gear. If you're taking an oral, then that's not true, right? And that is such a wrong.
But in reality, they're on the same.
That's a totally
level,
wrong misconception. Wrong misconception. However, it is definitely a lot more accessible and a lot easier for someone to simply take a pill. And so that's what happened to me. He offered all these pills, and I took them unknowingly, knowing what they were. One of them ended up being halotestin. I didn't actually realize that was gear until after the first week I took it. I told one of my friends what I was on, and they're like, "Bro, halotestin is a steroid." And I was like, it blew my mind, and I was like, I was like, I was dumbfounded. I was kind of just like shocked. And then the next day I just decided, like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, this is my dream. This is all I've ever wanted. And to be honest, I already started taking it, and it's a pill and it's easy. And I'm feeling some fucking crazy pumps and shit. So I'm just gonna keep doing it because this fucking feels good.
And is gear kind of like drugs where it's like, you know, like I've never done any hardcore drugs before, but I've heard of, you know, when you take like hardcore drugs, the first high is like the best, and then you're always chasing that same high. Is steroids kind of similar where like the first time you take it, like there's no, like you're just trying to chase that same feeling, or is it always kind of like the same?
I wouldn't say necessarily, but there is a threshold to where if you take more and more and more, you start inducing a lot more side effects and a lot more mental side effects and emotional side effects that you don't want to feel as well. Whoa. A lot of irritability, a lot of aggression, a lot of extra things that can come depending on what you're on at a higher dosage. So obviously what you want to do is you know, you want to titrate up slowly so you don't hit that higher dosage that gets a lot of those extra side effects. So that way you have primarily more of the good things. That happens with all recreational drugs as well, right? At a certain point when you overdose on things, causes a lot of side effects, including possibly death, right? So it's always good to like make sure that you're understanding what your dosages are. Now, as for the first time that you're taking something, it can happen. That can happen where like you say, like you take, like, to be honest, the funny thing is like my podcast is called Transparent, but I've never taken tren. But if you take, I know for a fact though, from anecdotal evidence and, you know, my people I've roomed with.
Is there any reason why you haven't taken tren?
Well, first, people like, I know from anecdotal evidence and people that I've roomed with and who I've, you know, talked with and hung out with and close friends, that if you take tren for the first time, you can feel fucking amazing. You can feel on top of the world. Wow. And then the next time you might not feel the same, but that I think can be mitigated if you do what all bodybuilders and professional bodybuilders recommend to people who are starting off. And that's starting low and titrating up as needed. So say literally starting at like 200, 300 tests first before you do anything else.
So same thing like if you're a new lifter, right? You're not going to throw out a fuck ton of volume. Right. If you're just starting to lift, you're going to start slow and, you know, wrap your way up.
And this is exactly what I tell people, and like that they should be doing with, honestly, even recreational drugs like marijuana or even caffeine or anything that you want to start like that. Like, why is everyone giving their friends the biggest fucking hit of weed and then sending them into fucking space, and then they never ever want to smoke weed ever again? Like, why does everyone want to do that? They get all
nauseous and stuff.
I just don't.
They're out cold.
I'm like these guys have never fucking. They can't even inhale without coughing, bro. Just like, like give them like a 1 milligram THC or something. I don't know.
I think people just think it's funny, to be honest.
They do think it's funny. They're fucking terrible. They're hazing, bro.
Yeah. I think we've all been through it, you know, when we're younger.
Yeah. But
yeah, sorry if I'm gonna ask lots of steroid questions. To be honest, I haven't really talked to too many people openly, you know, about the subject. So it's something that I'm curious about, not doing personally myself. We can talk about that later if you want.
Yeah.
But it's just something, you know, I've been curious about. You know, I don't honestly have any close friends that are on, you know.
Right.
So it's just interesting to me, like why someone chooses to go that way. I'm assuming you fired your coach after all that, or
fired my coach. I just moved on and didn't have a coach for like 3-4 years, and I learned everything myself.
I mean, I would be pissed. Like personally, like at the end of the day, it's your job to, you know, do the research, but still, I mean, you're trusting your coach. Your coach, like it's like I'm a coach, you know, and if I put my clients on anything without them knowing it, I would expect them to be pissed. I expect like a lawsuit or something coming at me. You know, so from like a coach's perspective, it kind of like makes me annoyed because like I would never, you know, unless they specifically told me that's what they wanted.
So yeah, I just quit, and I just decided to like learn everything myself in the course of the next 4 years or so. So everything that I am, the physique that I have, the knowledge that I have is simply just from doing my own research. Kind of the same way that More Plates, More Dates is just, doesn't have a degree, but he just did his own research over the course of like how many fucking years he's been doing YouTube, right? Now he's fucking genius. So yeah. And that's why I think
everything happens for a reason, right?
That's why I think like, everyone should have a coach, but not necessarily rely everything on your coach. Like do your research and understand what you need first for your own body and like your own health markers. That way you could at least double check him and make sure that your coach isn't going to kill you, because that has happened. No,
100%. And that's why a lot of times too, I try to teach my clients not only what I'm recommending, but how to look it up, how to look up the studies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever else they decide to take, they know how to research it themselves, you know?
Right. That's really good. I appreciate that. And I've done that with my past clients as well, back when I was coaching. And then in regards to your question.
Okay, so one more steroid question.
What's up?
Oh yeah, sorry. You can go first.
Oh no, I just remember
Can I ask one more steroid question?
Yeah, you can, definitely. I remember you were asking me about like
sorry, I just cut you off.
Wait, what were you asking? Oh, you're asking why I chose not to take tren, I think.
Yeah, I think you answered that though. Right, you said it something about starting low and
no, that's what people should do when they're starting gear, is they should not just take a big dose or something. The reason I haven't started tren is because it's fucking scary, and it's the worst one out there for you in regards to mental health, your organ health, and everything. It is also going to probably be the most effective in terms of appearance, but if I'm going to take it, I want to save it for my pro debut. And that just means that as long as I hold off on it, if I really fucking need it when I need it, I'm going to be like a hyper responder to it. I'm going to respond really fucking well.
Your secret senzu bean. You're just going to pop in.
Yeah.
When it's time to show out.
I think that's the key to bodybuilding, man.
That's crazy.
Is you build muscle slowly. Like gear doesn't give you muscle instantly. It enhances your muscle building potential, which means if you're blasting so hard, you have used all your sensitivities to that gear for how much time of muscle building, versus you could prolong that over the course of years and muscle build over a long time with enhancements. And that is how you get fucking huge. That's how you like become an Olympia sized bodybuilders, because they're literally just bulking and doing, proper cycles while checking their health for years on end. Yeah.
That's interesting. So the same is true. This like slow and steady wins the race.
It is. Totally true. Like I just wish I was bulking the last 4 years.
Because people would jump on steroids because they don't want to take the slow and steady approach. Like that's how I feel like most people that jump on gear, they're like, okay, fuck the natty route. This is too slow. I'm over it. I'm just going to blast, gain 20 pounds. And then that's that. But it's so interesting that you can actually take a slower approach with it. I've never really thought about that. I didn't even know you could do that. So literally you could have 2 different thresholds. You could have your natty threshold. And like once you cap that, you could also go on your enhanced threshold and then run that out for, I don't know, what you're saying is the next 10, 20 years, right?
Exactly. That's exactly how it works scientifically. To, right? Is time is number one when it comes to anything. Not gear, not whatever. It's literally time under tension. So the more time you have following what you should be doing, that's how much gains you're going to make in the long run. It's all about time.
That's so interesting. I always thought about it as more you blast, the more you gain.
The way I see,
and you just hit that threshold immediately.
Yeah. So unfortunately not. You can look like you've gained crazy amounts of muscle by taking, say, tren over the course of like a fucking, depending on what kind of tren you're taking, like 8-week cycle or something, 4 to 8 week cycle. I don't know what, depending on whatever gear you're on. If you're doing a short cycle like that, there's an aesthetic look that you can build based off of the gear. If the gear is like DHT based, for example, or just one that people will use for, say, a prep, such as like Winstrol or Masteron, that will make you look grainy and can also help make you look full. But that is temporary, because the moment you step off that gear, the water weight and the look disappears, and then you're soft and just normal composition again. And think about it, like if you weren't gaining during that time, if you were just cutting, what muscle did you really gain once you came off again? Sometimes nothing. And I can say that from anecdotal evidence. For me, basically cutting the last 3 years in order to stay shredded for social media, I didn't really do much gear. I was really just on TRT the entire time. But there were a few times that I'd do something like Primo or Masteron. And when I did that, I would fill out and I would get heavier and I would look jacked and I would look full. But the moment I came back off of it, there was no mass that was gained on that because I wasn't eating in a calorie surplus. So I just looked crazy for a second. So and then I came back off and I didn't look good anymore. So like, that's why it's like, that's why a lot of experts say there's no point in literally like just running one cycle. And then, unless you're like, there's no point in just like running like one shred cycle or something, unless you only want to do one competition or you really care that much about looking good for like one beach day that you want to give up your HPDA for a day at the beach.
Yeah.
It's just like two.
Yeah, so it's like a real commitment if you want it to work.
Yeah, it's a commitment. It's a commitment for sure.
Yeah. Is there any time where you kind of like regret going to the dark side?
No, I don't really regret anything in my life. But
because is it easy to get off? Like, you can just drop off like cold turkey, or is there test levels like on the lower end so you wouldn't require TRT regardless?
I can't just come off of TRT and be okay. It'll be impossible for me. I mean, I could come off of TRT and try to do enclomiphene and HCG together to boost my testosterone back to normal range and regain my fertility. I don't know how well my natural test will be after that, to be honest with you. It could be okay, but it's not going to be as good as it would have been had I not done anything. Definitely won't.
You think it's possible for you, let's say like you came off everything and your test levels were back to normal and it was okay, like you didn't need anything else, you think you'd be okay going back to like the natty life and training natty and all that stuff? You think, I don't know, I feel like once you go to the dark side, like in my opinion, you know, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like lifting heavy. Like it feels like you're going to get like insane pumps and insane strength and, you know, you're going to get this insane recovery rate and you're on this super serum. That's how I think about it, at least, you know? Like, is it possible to go back to the natty, like, lifestyle after that and be okay? Like, I feel like even mentally, because I've seen a lot of people, you know, jump off and just quit the gym totally just because they couldn't handle.
For me, it's not, because I have a goal of getting to Olympia. Like, that is my biggest passion right now. So for me, obviously no, because I have goals that I want to shoot for that are pretty high. But if I didn't have those goals, say that I just didn't care anymore and I just didn't want to do.
Or what if those goals were over? What if you hit the Olympia stage and then you're like, okay, I did that. And
if I decide to move to the next point in my life where bodybuilding isn't a thing for me anymore, then I can absolutely go back to natural and try to, you know, lift normally and stuff. I would have to definitely work on detaching myself from my ego and like the feelings that I get from like seeing myself looking crazy and jacked and shredded out of the normal. That's definitely going to affect
100%.
I'll definitely feel that 100%. But honestly, if I was at the time in my life where that's over and I already completed those goals and now I'm moving on to something else, such as creating a business or focusing on just my podcast, things that are a little bit more mental and intellectual, where I don't actually require me to be like in the gym like 24/7. For example, like More Plates is another example where, you know, he kind of stopped going to the gym and taking gear. Now he just focuses on his business and he's enjoying it. I can absolutely do that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would probably stay on TRT. I'm just
curious on what the next step. Yeah.
Yeah. You were just curious about what?
Any reason behind that? Any reason behind staying on TRT?
I genuinely believe that me staying on TRT is going to make me feel a lot better than trying to jump off and you know, bring my HPDA back up by doing HCG and enclomiphene. And I'm just very, very confident my test is not going to be nearly the same. I just kind of know. You know what I mean? Plus, I would rather be in the high end of the reference range, like 1,000, than have to deal with like say that somehow I can at least be at 400 or something. Say that I can at least be in the reference range. I would definitely prefer being in 1,000 than 400.
Yeah, it sounds like a huge difference.
It is. The motivation helps a lot.
Yes.
The one thing though about testosterone though is the higher the testosterone that you have, the more you kind of want more. And I have found that if you are trying to have a family and settle down and you want to like have eyes only for your woman and you want to not be so over focused on your business and your fit and whatever achievements you want to do, and kind of have more of like a family orientation, I find it's easier, at least for me, to have like a little bit lower of a test level. And I think that is natural.
Yeah.
I think that's why, you see over the course of life, as males grow older and older and their test starts lowering and lowering and lowering, what they are interested in also changes. What they look for also changes. Yeah. Settling down, having a family. Even when a man hears his infant cry for the first time after he's had his first child, men's prolactin increases and the testosterone slightly decreases. And that right there already changes that man's... it makes them a little bit less motivated to go do things. It makes them a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more lazy. Prolactin is a motherly hormone, and prolactin is also what excretes when you smoke a lot of weed. So imagine guys when they're smoking a lot of weed. It's a little bit similar to like when a man's prolactin raises, and then his testosterone decreases.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's nurturing.
Yeah, so if you have a baby and you're smoking a lot, then you're kind of fucked.
Wait, what was that?
With prolactin, at least. So if you have a baby and you smoke a lot of weed, you're kind of fucked. As far as prolactin, prolactin goes.
For some guys, probably not the best idea. And then imagine that they're also...
But the motherly thing is correct, though. Even Sandra, my girlfriend, even when she hears the baby cry, like, sometimes she'll just start, like, leaking milk out of nowhere.
Damn.
Or, like, we'll be out, and there'll be a baby just randomly crying, and then she'll just start leaking. Like, I don't know if it's prolactin or whatever, but that instinct is definitely real. I didn't know it was real for guys, though. Like, I don't feel any type of way when babies cry or whatever, but maybe psychologically,
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
But that 100% makes sense. And shit, I gotta take my blood works. I was supposed to take it before COVID. I've been trying to do it every year just to,
get your blood work done.
Just to be good. I know, I gotta get it done. But to be honest, I wanted to start my first, like, so we were just talking about staying shredded for social media. Mm-hmm. Like, I've been staying lean on social media since, like, I don't know, at least a strong, like, 6-7 years. I've been going strong, staying lean. Like, do you ever remember me on social media ever being, like, bulk mode? Like, I think in the very beginning, I went on a decent bulk. But,
I mean, I remember you being, like, super big and bulky, but I also remember you being hella crazy shredded and me just being like, dude, this guy's got, like, goal aesthetic physique.
Yeah, so I think I was bulky, and then I don't know if I want to say the YouTuber's name, but yeah, I just met another YouTuber at the time. I think it was back in probably around the time, like 2016, 2015, and he told me like, oh yeah, if you want to grow on social media, you just gotta stay shredded year round. So, and this guy was tracking like every single day, and I was like, oh, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, I track every single day, stay lean, and that's how you grow. So I was like, okay, fuck it. So, I mean, that's what I did,
Right.
And, like, same thing like you and me having to stay lean for social media. I mean, it kind of sucks, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
it does.
Like, to think of all the gains that you could have possibly missed out on. So, like, I've always knew I was sacrificing gains for the sake of social media, But I always looked at it as doing it for the greater good. Like, I'm getting more views, I'm getting more subscribers, but I'm also helping more people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting more content out there that's helping people, that's changing lives. So it's like, okay, I felt like I was sacrificing my gains to help them make gains in a sense. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to look back 5-10 years from now and be like, fuck, I should just, screw the aesthetics. Because, I didn't know it was, you hit a plateau even when you're on gear. Like, I didn't know that diet mattered so much. I thought like even at maintenance levels on gear, you'd still grow no matter what. Like I didn't know like you could get off and actually have gained no muscle, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. It really depends on what you did during it. You know what I mean? But if you didn't focus on diet, if you didn't focus on eating in the surplus during a blast, like, there's very likely chance that you really hardly built any actual real muscle, especially with how it's just so complicated. There's so many factors. Like, how did you come off? Did you come off with just TRT? Did you come off and 100%. Completely cut it short? Most people who literally just cut it and decide to not take anything, including TRT, and try to PCT off of that, well, they normally don't really like keep any gains, to be honest. So, yeah, it's very complicated, but in the end, like, if you want to get huge, like if you're going for a big bodybuilder, like actually, then you have to eat the food, you have to do the sleep, you have to make sure that you're getting the blood work, but you're also maximizing your dosages for the healthiest blood work outcomes. So that normally means less than most kids believe that they should be taking these days. There's just like a lot of things.
Yeah, just be all in.
Mm-hmm.
So how were you feeling when you learned that you had possibly low T?
I felt like absolute dog shit, bro. I was depressed as fuck. Yeah, I was hanging out with my ex and our best friend Melody, and we were just chilling at my place for like a couple weeks during COVID, and I didn't want to do anything. All I wanted to do was sit down and watch anime, and I just felt down on myself. And I was looking at my body, and I'm like, why the hell do I look skinny fat right now? I'm flat, but I'm carrying like all this like water and fat and stuff in my subcutaneous layer, and I just felt depressed about it. I was trying to do workout swipes, but I just fucking hated them, and I hated how I looked. It was just really bad, man. It was really bad. I had like no sex drive whatsoever as well. Just couldn't figure it out. And I even decided to, like, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know it was my balls. I didn't know it was the orals that I took for my pro show. So I tried carnivore. I literally tried the carnivore diet because I heard some things, maybe like, this increase in fat might help my testosterone levels. And that just made me feel like more shit, to be honest, because I didn't do it totally correctly. So I ended up getting like a little bit of, I almost got fatty liver disease because I was taking vitamin C and iron with the carnivore diet, and you're not supposed to be taking supplements like that, additional supplements like that on top of it. Yeah, but yeah.
Damn.
I mean, basically, it didn't help my test until I really decided to just get my blood work done, and my test was fucking rock bottom. It was in the shitter.
So do you think the drugs you took from your pro show caused your test to crash?
100%. That's exactly what it was.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time.
So your test was fine prior to that?
It was fine prior to that. I think it looks like my size kind of got a little smaller over the course of like the 6 shows I did natural, and I think that's because I kept staying so lean that my testosterone was just getting lower and lower. I started being able to look drier and more shredded, but my size was not as full, if that makes sense. I think, like, for example, you think of Chris Heria, like his physique is always dick skin shredded, right? But he doesn't always have like a ton he doesn't have like a ton of muscle mass on him. Someone like him I see would probably have like a lower estrogen level, that I would assume, which might correlate to a lower could correlate to a lower test level. It might not, but just because, say, he has a lower test level doesn't mean he can't perform at like some amazing capacity that's, say, better than other calisthenics athletes. Like, some people will respond to a lower test level just fine. Like, I have a friend who naturally has estrogen that's above the reference range, which is crazy. And he didn't do, and this was before he ever touched TRT or gear or anything. So he was actually, the doctor actually had to prescribe him things for that, but he always felt great and normal with his estrogen in that range. Some people are just built like that. Like, some people are just born like that, and it's normal for them. That's why you can't prescribe the exact same dosages of drugs or, say, gear or medications to everybody, because everybody is going to literally respond totally different. They just have a different makeup.
That's interesting. Got to get my blood work.
Yeah, bro, definitely.
Yeah, just another reminder.
Yeah. If you're
So I'm curious, have you ever
if your test happens to come back lower than you think, honestly, bro, don't even like think about it. You probably run amazing on that test level.
No, yeah, I feel fine. So whatever my test levels come back, even if they're on the lower end or whatever, like I'm just gonna run with it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm never gonna really think about TRT until I get into like, you know, one, like my sex drive dies, or two, I get into like that depression mode that you talked about, you know, where it's affecting me mentally, and you know, it has to be more than just physical for me. You know, it has to be more like health, like sex drive is definitely a big one. You know, like that's gonna be a sad day. And secondly, you know, if you mess with your mental health, then you know, that's when I think about taking the jump, you know. So my question is, even when I was so big and lean, did you think I was on steroids?
I never thought you were on gear. I think, to be honest, I think I always just trusted everybody for what they said back in the past.
What?
Because honestly, in the past, I don't really remember anyone except for, say, like Mike O'Hearn that like preached that they were natty. You know what I mean? Like no one really Yeah, I don't remember any like crazy big bodybuilders ever being like, no, I'm natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fake natty, like came bigger like the past like 5 years maybe.
Right.
Started coming out. I don't remember when they started doing those natty or nats or whatever.
You do have one picture that if you search up your name on Google Images where I see it and I'm just like, God damn, bro, this guy looks very sus. This guy looks very sus in this picture. But
you just search Gokuflex?
Here, let's search Gokuflex on Google Images.
Is it Gokuflex? Picture.
It's the third.
Oh, my good pictures come out. That's why.
The third picture on Twitch.
Oh, the Twitch one. Okay, so I got a story about that one.
Yeah.
So, dude, my physique looks insane in that picture. But okay, so what happened was, we ended up doing I think it was doing a deload week or something, and we are doing the shit, I'm brain farting. But what are those things? The blood circulation?
Yeah.
BFR training.
Yeah.
We're doing BFR training. I was with Bearded Piccolo at the gym. We're doing BFR training on our arms. And something that I learned from doing my last deload after doing BFR training is that my arms just would blow the fuck up after you do. Like, have you done it before?
I've only done it once. It was a long time ago.
Try and measure before and then measure after. You could get the most insane pump ever, just normally without the BFR bands, and your arms would not be the same size as after BFR training.
Damn.
Like my arms would blow the F up. So anyways, yeah, so we ended up doing BFR training, and then I measured my arms, and I think they cleared 18s for like the first time ever in my life. And I was so happy about that, you know, like natty 18s, like that was like the dream, you know. But then obviously, you know, that was like full pump. It doesn't really count, especially with the bands. Like, but yeah, so then I just had Piccolo take a picture with me in that corner. Like that gym in New York had like such godly lighting, man. It was so good.
Yeah.
Like I so miss that gym. Like you could even be like partially like not even like super dry, but just the lighting would just make you look dry. You know, you get a good pump on, stand in the right spot, you're good to go. But yeah. I love that picture. I think that's similar to what I would look like if I got on gear. Like I think I could look like that, like possibly bigger. I don't know. What do you think?
You look fucking phenomenal there, bro. But I literally had the same perception as like when you, I literally thought that like this picture was probably when he was like very, very dry and also looked very full. Like maybe he had like some good meals in afterwards. If you were hitting a deload week, then that means that you would fill out naturally. Which normally that's why, you know, people tend to look pretty nice, dry and full after a deload week, as long as they're not overeating in sodium. So yeah, I was just assuming that's honestly, all my best picks, especially when I was natural, were all like when I looked at my peak. And honestly, even when I was taking anything and I was doing workout videos, I planned all my videos around looking the best I absolutely could. If I went to a rave or a festival, for example, I used the festival to dry myself out as much as possible. The next day, I would eat extra carbs. And then that Tuesday, I would look crazy, bro. I would look crazy. Like I would look like I was literally about to step on stage, and that's when I would take some of the craziest fucking workout videos. And one of them, for example, blew up to like, got like I don't know, over 1 million like likes on the reel or something. It had like something like 17 million views or something like that. Not that it matters much, but it goes to show you that like doing that whole process of like trying to look shredded, carb loading and carb deloading and then loading up, what you're doing with water, that all makes a huge difference in your physique. Huge difference. It's probably one of the biggest aspects when it comes to actual professional bodybuilding as well, is that peak week. Like, how are people doing that peak week? It breaks or makes a physique. It literally breaks or makes the physique. So, yeah, if someone's trying to look their best, like natural, like if you're on social media, I don't doubt that literally everyone on social media, especially in the past, chooses their best pictures or chooses their best shit when they look their best. And that's probably going to mean when they like prepare their physique to look good as well. You know what I mean? If I feel like I look flat and watery, I'm not going to take a fucking picture.
No, hell no. Yeah. And that's something you learn from just being on social media. And yeah, it's probably one of the worst parts about social media, to be honest, too, you know? But I mean, it is what it is. Like, social media has changed so much in the past, just these past like 2-3 years with the, you know, the come up of TikTok and everything, short form content, just everything, you know?
It definitely has. TikTok's made a huge difference.
So what was your turning point in social media? Like, what was that moment where you just kind of just blew up?
For me, it was when...
Like the tipping point.
It was when I was doing a lot of workout swipes as well as TikToks with my workouts at the same time. And I just kept running them like 3 times a week. And I basically was like... I wasn't really doing anything fun. All I was doing was going to the gym, filming, going home and editing. And sometimes it would take me like 6 hours or more to like edit one whole swipe in TikTok. I don't know why it took me so long, but I think I was just very, very obsessed about like perfection. I was kind of a perfectionist.
But it's also the learning process and everything.
Yeah, also learning. But that's when I finally grew, but I didn't have a good balanced life. I was kind of like I didn't spend any time with my my girlfriend at the time, and I was just all work, not spending time with friends, and that's all I cared about. So,
like, sometimes that's what it takes, you know, to take your business, take your, you know, social media, just take things to the next level. You know, sometimes you got to sacrifice a little here and there. Even for me, when I was in New York growing the social media, like, literally that was my whole life. It was wake up, go to the gym, film. And that was one of the awesome parts about living in New York, is the time zone so much ahead than the West Coast, and even especially here in Hawaii, you know, that I literally would go home with the same clips that I just recorded, my same pictures, and film my voiceover and edit and put it up that day. And literally that was my thing. I think I was uploading like 3 times a week at that point.
Damn,
like Monday,
bro.
Wednesday, Friday, or
3 times a week on YouTube?
Like 3 times a week I would just go. Yeah.
Craziness, dude.
But then, I mean, it was simple shit, you know. I was just doing my little video in voiceovers, or whatever you want to call it. Workout voiceovers. Yeah, and then that's just what I did, you know. And then would grind out vlogs here and there to change it up. But yeah, I didn't do anything else. But, you know, that's what you got to do, you know, if you want to grow. You got to, like, I feel like a lot of people are just too scared to go all in. Right?
Yeah, they are.
They kind of tippy toe in there. They kind of touch it. They upload once, see how it is. And then maybe I'll upload again if it does good. And that's not the mentality to go in with if you want to be successful in anything you do, right?
I think the key number one thing I would tell people is you just got to keep going. You got to keep going. For me, 100%. I did it for almost 5 years before I caught any traction whatsoever, like any real crazy. It was 4 years before I saw myself at least hit like almost a 6-figure like follower count or whatever, and then I didn't get that like explosion in growth until like 2020, 2021, I'd say. And I started social media around 2015 when we met. Like when I went to the Arnold, that's when I started.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I've been posting ever since on Instagram and stuff, but nothing ever happened until say like 5 years later.
So 0 to 5 years was sub 100K followers.
Yeah.
And then once 2020 came around, that's when you hit 100K.
2020, the moment 2020 hit, I hit about 200K from starting on TikTok and Instagram. And then I saw that the growth was happening because they were like compounding off of each other. So then I ran with it. And then by 2021, that's when I hit about 1 mil on both platforms.
Damn. That's sick, dude.
Thanks, bro.
That's crazy. And that's really how it is. Like on social media, you know, you just keep going until you find something that sticks, and then you grind it out, you know, grind out whatever niche you're doing,
right,
and then you just explode from there. You know, it's just most people don't make it to that point where that tipping point, you know, where they just take off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's crazy. So you've been doing TikToks in 2020. When did TikTok come out?
I don't know. Was it 2018? I don't remember, to be honest.
2018, 2019.
But you're still early though. When you're posting on TikTok consistently, you're pretty early at the fitness scene.
I was pretty early. I was one of the first people in fitness doing TikTok at the time.
Interesting. Yeah. Was that like before like JPG and everyone? Because I know they've been doing it for a while, right?
I believe so, but I have no clue when JPG started.
Yeah, me neither. I have no idea. To be honest, I only jumped on TikTok like last year. And prior to that, the years before, I was just fighting it. Mainly because I didn't understand the algorithm. You know, like I would go on TikTok, I'd give it a try, and I'd just see like girls dancing and all that stuff. And you know how it takes a while to get your algorithm, right? And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? You know, just scrolling through, I'm like, I feel like a little pedophile going scrolling through these like girls dancing and shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm done with this app, you know?
To be honest.
And then
to be honest, like TikTok's really hard to... It's fucking hard, and the nice thing about it is I think it's got a more personal feel, and you can create more personal content. That's very quick and accessible, so that's how you can really pop off a lot. But even me, for example, I started off of TikTok, and it's what helped me grow in the first place. But now my TikTok is like basically non-existent. I haven't been doing it anymore. It's hard to maintain.
Yeah, why do you feel like that?
It depends on what kind of way you grew. For me, I decided to grow off of TikTok, off of those workouts, the workout montages. Now that however, those workout montages are not sustainable. I can't keep looking that shredded all the fucking time. I can't keep filming myself in the gym doing that and editing the videos myself for hours and hours and hours on end. It takes my entire week just to do that. Plus, I feel like all I'm doing is like, yeah, I'm creating new workouts and they're all fun and stuff, but you can only have so many workouts. Plus, I want to be as genuine and possible and connected with my audience, and there's more to me than just a workout. So, unfortunately for me, for example, like I wish I approached it a different way. But for the people who have approached it in a way where it's like them and their personality or what they talk about, they can continuously keep talking about things. Like if you started TikTok with conversation, then you can probably continue your TikTok a lot easier than most other people for the rest of life, for example. Say, for example, if Jesse James West decided that he wanted to stop doing his current videos and decided he just wanted to just do normal like vlogs that aren't pre-planned with storytelling like his current videos are, it's probably going to be a lot harder for him to keep the same engagement. Probably significantly harder. So it's just
100%.
That's what I want to tell people is like, yeah, you can do whatever you want to do to blow up, but if it's not something you can keep doing for the rest of your life, understand that it's going to go down. Like you're going to see your stats and stuff go down, and you have to be okay with that. Otherwise, start with exactly what you do know that you want to do for at least a majority of your life.
No, 100%. But I also think that you need something to blow yourself up, though. Like, you can keep doing, like, these personal videos and these, you know, these more personality-type videos. But if they're not what people aren't vibing with them and they're not bringing people to you or helping you grow, then it really doesn't matter, you know what I mean? And that's what I like about just taking something and just running with it and blowing out from it. And then you can always pivot from there, you know, like, yes, like if Jesse James West decided to go more like a podcasting route or vlogging route, or decided to do like more of a family channel kind of thing. Let's say he wants to settle down, you know, which probably will be for a while, but he would still accumulate a good amount of viewership.
Right.
You know, and a ton more viewership than what he had if he didn't blow up the way he blew up, essentially, you know? Kind of like that that guy that went viral on TikTok, that guy that does a screaming face on TikTok. I forgot what it was. You know what I'm talking about, right? He was getting millions and billions of views, and he would just speed up his little TikTok reel, and he'd have that same music over and over again. He was like that Hispanic guy with long hair.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the bigger, better, like smarter?
Yeah, bigger, stronger, better. Yeah, smarter. Yeah, that's what it was. That guy. Yeah.
Oh, damn. I wonder what he's doing now.
Viral. I stumbled upon it recently, and he changed up his content. He's doing like other things now, but obviously,
oh shit.
Obviously, he's not getting the same viewership, but he's pivoting, you know, and he's still getting, you know, like 100,000 plus views TikTok or reel and stuff, but. Dude, that's what I mean about like just finding out one thing and just running with it, you know?
Oh shit,
like,
that's so funny.
That guy did so many TikToks with the same thing, you know?
I agree with that to an extent.
But he just blew the fuck up.
I agree with that to an extent, for sure. One place where I don't agree with that though is currently my workout videos on YouTube Shorts are popping off just like they popped off on TikTok and Instagram. But I literally just took them down because I'm getting subscribers that I know are not going to watch my long form videos, and I want to create my YouTube. I want to create my YouTube community as a close niche community based off of who I am and the content that I'm providing through long form. So I'm realizing that unfortunately all those people that I'm getting from those YouTube shorts that are from so many different countries like India, Brazil, South America. Some of them aren't even going to understand what I'm saying. Like some of them aren't even going to understand me. Like so.
Well, that's what subtitles are for too, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's true. But I don't know. I have noticed though that it affects the engagement and it affects your community being able to see your content if you post too much of a variety and it's not what your followers have followed you for. So it really just depends on what you want, essentially. Like whether
that's interesting. Yeah, I've never really thought about that on YouTube, but I've heard of that on Instagram and TikTok. Mm-hmm. Like how if you post too many things outside your niche, you kind of confuse the algorithm to who they want to push your videos towards and the people watching your videos and stuff.
In the truth,
and then it gets like really in depth.
Yeah. And honestly, in the truth, it's not even the algorithm. It really is the people. Like it's really the people you're speaking to. When you just start changing things up, some people just don't want to see the new things you post. Say that you're someone who was always into modeling and suddenly you decide to start posting politics on your page. I think a lot of people would probably just stop following your content or stop engaging with your content. You could still have the same amount of followers,
100%.
But then 50 to 75% of them decide that they don't want to see your stuff anymore, at least to a certain extent. And then at that point, it affects your growth. Yeah. So if you want to continue to grow, just keep in mind what it is that you want to do within yourself. That's why people say stay real to yourself.
Yeah. Keep in mind, and then you're also trying to just hit your target audience, right?
Yeah.
And so are you trying to move a little bit more away from fitness now, or?
No, I still love doing fitness, and I want to do bodybuilding, and like honestly, I want to address hormones, and mental health like forever, but we'll see how it goes. I want to ask you some questions, bro.
Sorry, I told you I'd only talking about myself. That's why I want to.
You're too quick, dude.
Talk to you.
Damn. How many questions have you prepared? Shit.
Dude, I'm just asking. Like, I'm just chilling, man.
So
I'm just chilling. But this is why I honestly don't go on many podcasts. You know, because I feel like I'm more interested in knowing about the other person. You know, than talking about myself personally. I feel like my life's pretty boring, to be honest.
I don't think so, dude. I think you have a lot to offer, bro. It's funny though.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate feeling like someone that's at least somewhat interesting.
No, I just think it's so interesting, you know.
Okay, but no, I wanted to ask you though, because you were definitely one of the first people in the fitness industry that really started off YouTube and being like one of the first Asians. Like the only people I really remember watching back then were like Nigga Higa and like you, especially in regards to what Asians were out there. And you guys were like both from Hawaii too, right? I
wanted to be digging a soul, man. What was that?
What was that?
No, what'd you ask?
Oh, I didn't ask anything.
No. Oh. No, yeah, I was saying, it's been one of my dreams to meet Nigga Higa one day. So he's actually from Hawaii. Yeah. He's from the Big Island, which is an island like, I don't know, 20-minute plane ride from here.
Okay.
Yeah, he actually went to he was actually classmates with one of my cousins and stuff.
No way.
And yeah, he just lives in Vegas now. And I think he still streams on Twitch or something.
We're actually long lost brothers.
But yeah, he just scrapped everything. Dude, I used to love his content. He put in so much. You're talking about like top quality.
No, dude, it's phenomenal, bro. I fucking love that guy.
Where they put like so much effort into every second of video. Like, I think what kind of pushed them off was when they increased the ads to 10 minutes. They're like, okay, you can't do double ads until your video hits 10 minutes. And for content that he was producing, like, it takes so many more hours just to, you know, push a video to 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. That is kind of ridiculous, you know? Mm-hmm. But anyways, hopefully I beat him one day.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, with what you said earlier in regards to Nigga Higa, I think that's a perfect example of Nigga Higa like doing all those hardcore videos to like really explode. And even though his engagement now isn't nearly what it was before, he has still a huge community where now he can continue doing what it is that he does actually love. So, I mean, that's a good point there, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I kind of like, for me, I kind of feel like it's handicapping your growth just because you'll still get people that want to vibe with you, you know, like they might come to you for the workout stuff, but they'll stay because of you. And if they don't, then they'll just unsubscribe. You know, they'll weed themselves out anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is true as well.
Yeah.
So what was it like being one of the first? Like, how did you get started and like who inspired you? And then I guess like how did you just start running with the YouTube?
So the first YouTuber or fitness YouTuber I've ever watched was Matt Ogus.
Oh, bro, so dude, he was one of my first two.
Yeah, so he was like a heavy inspiration for me. His Matt Versus series, watching him pose out in his tighty whities. And, you know, just, I forgot, like, his intro is weird. Was it Ogus Cake or something?
Ogus Cake.
You would scream, Ogus Cake or something, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I still love watching Matt Ogus. And I even like entered like a show because I was watching him. I was like, okay, I'm gonna compete too, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized that competing is not for me whatsoever. Like it's just not my thing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Matt Ogus, and like for me personally, I've always like wanted to like give back or find. I was like throughout my life, I've always felt like very average, you know. Like, I was never really good at anything. I was never really excelled at school. And that's one of the reasons I didn't really go to college, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I just felt lost, you know? Mm-hmm. And then when fitness came around, it's something that I was actually good at the genetics, you know? Like, ever since I started touching the weights at 15, you know, my body just started blowing up. You know, I gained like almost 20 pounds every year. Obviously not all muscle, but, you know, I just started gaining weight rapidly. And then I started helping friends do the same, and it just became something, a way that I felt like I could give back, you know, a way I could pay it forward. And I would watch Matt Ogus, and then I would try to start my YouTube at home and whatnot. But here in Hawaii, it is so chill. Have you been here before?
Yeah, I've been a long time ago, but I was like a kid, so I don't remember too much.
Yeah. So you know the vibe here. It's very laid back, very chill, and a lot of times if it was either going to the beach or recording a video, I'm choosing the beach every time,
Yeah.
So I just couldn't get focused. So then I moved to New York, and that's when everything changed. Like New York, it has if it's up to me, what was the saying? If it's going to be, it's up to me. So I felt like, so it's just, so New York was the time where I could just focus down and start putting out videos. And that's when I started personal training and everything. And yeah, that's kind of where everything blew up. I met Nick Wright. Nick Wright, do you remember Nick Wright?
Not very much.
So Nick Wright was a big YouTuber back in that time. He was like a bodybuilder. Oh, he was Nick Wright bodybuilding. He moved into powerlifting later on. But anyways, I met him at FitCon. I think it was 2014 FitCon in Texas. I flew out there. I was like this broke kid. Paid like, I don't know, a couple grand just to get out there, get a hotel and everything. And then I remember I brought these little Hawaiian chocolates with these things, and I put my YouTube channel on it too, so people would remember. And I would just pass it out to all the big YouTubers that I saw, just people that I admired, I watched and stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe they remember me, maybe they don't. Worst case scenario, hopefully they enjoy, the chocolate or whatever I got them, So I ended up giving that to Nick Wright. He ended up shouting me out on his channel. And then I hit him up on Facebook like a month later and was just like, hey, would you be interested in collabing? Just out of the blue. I only had like 5,000 subs. I think he had like 150, 200,000 back then, which was a lot.
Yeah.
Like 100,000 was like a million back then, And he was super cool. He was like, sure, come on down. Let me know the date. Don't even worry about a hotel. You could just stay here. Just find your way down here and we're good to go. We'll film some content. So yeah, that's when my boy Bearded Piccolo, you remember Bearded Piccolo, right, Jay?
Vaguely.
Yeah. Anyways, we rented a car, drove down, and yeah, I remember I was scared shitless. First thing I opened his door, knocked on his door, opened it up. He had the camera right in my face. I'm thinking, man, there's like hundreds of thousands of people watching me. I'm all like, hi.
That's hilarious. Holy shit.
But dude, that really is what helped pop me off. I think I went from I don't think I was at 5,000, maybe like sub 10,000, like 8,000 subs or something. But I remember I just popped off to like 15, 20,000. I think within the first week I had over like 20, 30,000 subs
shit.
already.
Crazy.
Yeah, that kind of just snowballed everything for me. So even though like I'm not tight with Nick whatsoever, I don't talk to him at all. Like he'll always be like the homie, just because I always remember what he did for me.
Yeah.
He just saw opportunity. He just saw like someone that had potential and just needed a little help. So yeah, and that's how really I popped it off, and that's how I started collabing with other YouTubers. And obviously that once you collab with someone, you kind of grow, then it leads you to more opportunities to collab with others, like Brandon Campbell, Matt Fusaro, all those OG YouTubers back in the day.
That is super neat. That is super, super neat.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I'm forever grateful for Nick for giving me that chance, and just allowing me to run with it.
Wow, crazy to think. When was that? What do you remember? What year that was?
I think that was 2014.
Damn. Okay. Holy shit.
I think it was the same year as that FitCon. Yeah, 2014. Yeah, and I remember. Yeah, I just went wild after that. I think I got fired from my gym job back then, which was a blessing in disguise.
Oh my gosh.
It made me go full time on YouTube. And then I was traveling like literally almost every month, just going to different places, collabing with people, meeting people, how the grind is. But yeah, just good times,
Yeah. That's crazy.
And to think I'm fucking still doing it like 9 years later.
Yeah, man. Not to mention, bro, freaking congrats on your daughter. That's fucking crazy. It's huge.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
That's so amazing. Dude.
Yeah, never would have thought,
Yeah, seriously.
I was always thinking like, I just want to travel, just want to do me, live life and stuff. And then Yeah, and then just one day I just woke up. I don't know. I had a weird dream one night, and I just woke up and I was like, I want a baby.
Wow.
It was super weird.
Wow.
And it's so weird. Like my girlfriend Sandra woke up like the exact same time. It was like in the middle of the night. It was like 4 a.m. And I just had a dream and I just woke up, and then I don't remember what the dream was about, but all I remember was it told me I want a baby.
Wow.
And then Sandra like was like kind of waking up and looking at me, and I told her, "Oh, you wanna have a baby?" And she goes, "Oh, okay." And then she like kind of went back to sleep.
No way.
It was just it was really weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then a couple months later, bam.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And now we got this daughter, and like it's so, parenthood is so indescribable. Like you'll see when you become a parent. Is that one of your goals, to become a parent eventually? Or
I believe so. Someday I do. Yeah. Because I do constantly have, I'm very, 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 what's the word? I'm very conscious of my fertility right now, and I'm trying to make sure that I stay as fertile as possible. So that's a sign to me that I know that someday I'm going to have that little click, like, oh shit, it's time. Like, I feel like I need to be a father.
Can you constantly check your fertility while you're on gear?
You thinking there's ways, and I think you should go to a sperm bank as well. But to be honest, when it comes to fertility, it's just like you kind of know when you have swimmers and when you don't. And
really,
yeah, and I constantly try to preserve my fertility.
Does it look different?
What's up?
Does it look different?
Well, to be honest, bro, I
Honestly.
kind of just shoot out a lot less. Like a lot less. Yeah.
Oh.
And then I jump back on an HCG cycle, which is for fertility, and the balls grow bigger again and start shooting out some fucking...
So ATG is op cycle.
No, HCG is human chorionic gonadotropin. Fuck. Anyways, HCG is just a substance that you can use to basically replenish your fertility and bring it back. And it's something that a lot of people can cycle during TRT to help preserve fertility in the long run. It's something that people use when they decide they want to have a baby. So sometimes they decide to come off TRT completely and use HCG to just come back to being natural and having full balls and fertility. There's a lot of different methods, but HCG basically brings back.
So you
fertility.
shrink too when you're on ATG, like physically?
No. HCG just brings your balls back. That's all it does.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it just brings
so
it brings your natural testosterone
outside
production back. That's all it really does.
Yeah.
So you can take it with TRT, or you can take it without. But it is recommended to cycle on and off as you are on TRT in order to potentially help preserve your balls in the long run for years later.
Wait. So do you go to like a sperm bank regularly to check, or kind of like blood work?
I actually have not. It's been like my number one thing to actually go to a sperm bank and like literally get my sperm saved just in case. But I have not done that yet.
Oh,
so
I forgot that's a thing now.
Yeah.
Even freezing eggs and stuff, right? Is like a big thing now. It is. Yeah, that's crazy. Huh. How long does it last if they freeze it?
It lasts... to be honest, I actually don't remember. Yeah, I don't.
That's so crazy to think, man. Because you gotta think, there's like these millionaires and billionaires out there that could be freezing their sperm just to have like these future kids while they're long gone.
Okay, so sperm can be frozen indefinitely. Yeah.
Wow. So like 100 years from now, you could have like kids if you wanted to, right?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know how much, how motile your sperm will be at that point, but potentially, I guess. After you die, you just decide that you want to give it to somebody else.
I don't know. You could. I mean, like, no, like literally, there's some billionaires out there that are probably freezing their sperm and want to start an army in the next 100 years or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
There's something weird with it.
100 years after you
weird.
die, I want to inseminate 1,000 women.
Just start putting that out there.
Some fucking Genghis.
Or did you hear that one story? It was like I think it was in Europe or something. Some dude
you can support the podcast by using code Nyle for Young LA clothing or for huge supplements. It's the best way to help fund the podcast because it's the only way that I can fund the podcast or the editors whatsoever.
Yeah, this guy Donner Arinego has fathered over 117 children. Apparently, he's like a sperm donor.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, 500 kids, actually. He has 500 kids in the Netherlands.
No way, you were lying.
He apparently got banned from like blacklisted in the Netherlands in 2017 after it emerged that he had over 100 donor children. Dude, that's crazy, right?
Dude, that's insane.
So, so he could have kids making kids, and yeah. Dude, there's so many articles on this shit. There's more than him that do this weird shit.
That's crazy. How is he able to like? How is he even allowed to like inseminate that many people?
I don't know. And apparently, like, you get to meet with the people that you're donating to and everything.
Wow.
So I think like on the outside he has like a professional job and he's, intelligent and he's all like he's very normal, but. Yeah, so I think a lot of sperm donors meet him, and then afterwards they interview him, and they're like, "Oh, I wouldn't have chosen him if I knew that, he has 500 other kids out there."
No way.
Because now they're thinking realistically, what are the chances of, my child meeting up with one of his other children, and getting together. And, I don't know, some weird shit.
Oh shit, that is fucked. That is some Genghis Khan shit right there.
Seriously, what is it like? Every Chinese person is part Genghis Khan or something. Something like that, right?
Yeah, he's definitely creating some kind of army there. Well, I'm taking notes.
Yeah, he has his legacy. You just start freezing now, man.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna start.
100 years from now, have like 500 kids pop out.
Can you guys please add some trenbolone with my sperm? Thank you. Okay.
Have some Super Saiyan kids.
So what got you into anime and Comic-Con? Was Dragon Ball Z the first thing you watched?
Got into. Yeah. So Dragon Ball was the absolute first thing I watched. Like, I tell the story a lot, but I still remember like running home with my little brother. From elementary school, the bus drops you off and you run home just to make it to the next episode. Had to sit through like the end of Sailor Moon and just to watch a new Dragon Ball. I think it was on like Toonami or something.
Yeah, right? Toonami, bro. Wait.
Yeah.
I thought Dragon Ball Z was on pretty late in the day though, or not in Hawaii probably.
Was it?
I guess.
Yeah, maybe Hawaii was a little different, but yeah, I remember it was Sailor Moon. With that fucking tuxedo mask, and then we'd watch Dragon Ball right after.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I remember me and my brother would just be like glued to the screen, and we're just in love, Like we didn't know it was anime. We just thought it was just another cartoon with some buff guys.
Same. That's so lit, dude.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah, and then.
Do you ever remember Bobo? Like.
No,
that one show that came on like afterwards, it was like Bobo or whatever. It was like a blonde-haired guy with big ass nose hairs.
I didn't really watch that show.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't really watch that. Did you watch that?
I would just keep watching Toonami after Dragon Ball ended. And I'd watch that. I'm just like, wow, this is so weird. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I never got into the Bobo.
Shit, damn.
But yeah, I was actually late to the anime, like technically the anime scene. It wasn't until I met JM Tehran that I got into like real anime. I started watching it like more.
Right.
So that's when I got to like, I think they told me to watch Naruto Shippuden. So I started watching that. I binged that. Hunter x Hunter. And yeah, that kind of just opened up everything. Then I started going to the cons and whatever.
Oh, that's sick.
And that's kind of what opened up like, the whole anime scene for myself, I started going to the cons and it was fun. Have you ever been to a con yet?
Dude, I haven't been to a con yet in all these years. I know. I don't know why. It's just always been on my plate.
What's your top animes? Top 3.
My top 3 animes? Okay, so number 1, and also before we go, so I don't forget this thought, I feel like that's honestly maybe that's the justification for why people thought that we were weird back then. Because honestly, when I think back to it, animes were like pretty fucking weird back then. Like animes were really fucking weird. And nowadays I feel like all animes are like about the same. They're just like, oh, it's the same kind of story, the same kind of shit, whatever, just cool animation. But like back then, there's some weird fucking shows, dude. Like
no, especially compared to like American cartoons.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess some American cartoons are a little bit trippy too. And
like I just stumbled upon a TikTok where this guy compiled the amount of times that Goku as a child, young Goku, in regular Dragon Ball, how many times he had to check if someone was a female. I don't know if you've seen those clips, but he would slap. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I fucking love that shit.
Dude, he did it like, I think it was like 6 or 7 different times. Like he's riding the Nimbus with Chi-Chi, and he's like, he gives her like a little tap in between her legs and goes, "You're not a boy."
That's so fucking funny, dude.
And it had like the viral Bulma one when she's sleeping.
Oh my god.
Like, and the thing, we're watching this when we're like kids,
Dude, when I was a kid and I was seeing that, I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, wow, now I'm really curious too.
Just go around tapping people.
Ball tap. Oh shit.
Yeah, but but now it's like normal, It's normal to see like tits bouncing and people like fondling them or getting stuck in them or whatever.
Wait,
in anime.
Oh, in animes?
Yeah, in animes now. Just back then it was just totally not the norm, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so anyways, top three.
Okay, so top 3, Steins Gate is actually the first one. I think most people are a little bit surprised about that, but
pound it.
Yes. Pound it. I get emotional.
Steins Gate is low key.
Yeah, bro.
Low key banger. Like people don't make it past that slow period in the beginning. Like that slow period is so fucking slow though.
It's so slow.
But once you do, it's a fucking roller coaster, man.
Bro, that's why it won awards. Is because that slow period is what makes it. You have to get through the slow period to realize that you're watching a fucking banger, bro. That literally, like, before you know it, that slow period passes, and then everyone's life in the show just turned upside down, and you're fucking like, what the fuck? And then the next second, you find yourself crying. That's like the most phenomenal anime,
100%.
like emotionally phenomenal anime I've ever experienced.
Low key, like more people need to watch it.
I think so too. I'm
proud of you for saying that.
Thanks, bro.
Because I forgot about Steins Gate, and I just thought about it too because we just came back from Japan like a week ago, and we're in Akihabara. And you know how like Akihabara is like the main area for Steins Gate and stuff. Oh
shit! No, I didn't know that. That's cool though.
Yeah, it's a real place. Yeah, it's a real place. It looks exactly like it. Yeah, so whenever I think of Akihabara, whenever we go there, I always think of Steins Gate.
Oh my god, I would fucking cry if I went there.
You're gonna trip out and fanboy out, dude. Yeah. A lot of the places in Steins Gate are real places.
Crazy. Yeah, that anime made me really...
what's number 2?
That anime really made me appreciate family and friends. Like, that's all I could think about afterwards.
100%. That's such a good one.
And then, man, now it's really hard to pick the next 2 because I really like a lot of animes, like, on an equal level, you know what I mean? Like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and even Tokyo Ghoul and all these animes kind of, like, influence me all equally, you know, in a certain kind of way. Did you ever watch Chobits? Chobits?
What is that?
Did you ever watch Chobits?
Chobits?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not.
How do you spell that?
Maybe don't watch Chobits, bro. Chobits is a fucking... Chobits is a kind of a weird... It's like a weirdo anime, bro.
Oh, it's girls.
I think Chobits is a good anime for
these blind girls, right?
For strange incels. What's up?
They're fairies, right? Are they fairies?
Chobits are like little... They're like little AI robots that are like females that are like girls or something, and this lonely guy like just I don't remember. He was like just a normal guy or normal kid or something. He decided to like I guess he bought a Chobit or something one day. I don't know, and then he ended up falling in love with it, and it's more real now these days than ever, dude. ChatGPT is gonna
100%.
Gonna be
Dude, this was back in 2002, man.
Yeah.
People don't even know the power of AI.
Yeah, bro. This guy knew what.
Dude, Japan
this guy
was so
fucking
way
knew
ahead.
the future. He knew what shit was coming.
Yeah, this guy knew. Even all like the VR stuff from like Sword Art Online and stuff. All the VR stuff is coming true.
Oh, dude, that's scary to think about.
Hey, wait. So Chobits is your number 2?
Huh?
Chobits is your number 2?
No, it's not. But I just thought it was hilarious. There's just so many animes I could name off the bat. But oh, dude, Inuyasha was up there for me.
Oh, I didn't get into Inuyasha. I remember seeing it on Toonami.
You didn't get into it?
But
what?
I just never got into it. I don't know. And I think I tried getting it. No, I didn't try getting into it. But it's just hard getting into those old school animes. Like in today, like just watching it today.
Especially
with, like,
nowadays.
the graphics and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, like even going back to watch Dragon Ball is a little hard, you
It
know?
is hard.
Just because the graphics are just so bad. You know?
Yeah, dude. That's how sad. That's how sad this world is once you're stimulated by something, then all the other things become boring as fuck.
I know. It's yeah.
Like,
I know it's so sad to say, but it's not like we're gonna go back and watch black and white TV.
exactly.
Right?
It's just something that I always think about, though. That's like a very deep concept that I consistently think about. Is like, wow, I'm an adventurer. So I'm like, there's like two types of people. You know, there's the more adventurous types and then the less adventurous types. And I'm definitely one of the ones that are adventurous. I like to experience as many things as possible. I like to be able to have experienced everything and have that story for that. But the problem with that, to me, that I've realized is I feel like I've destimulated myself to a lot of things, and certain things just start not being nearly as fun anymore or nearly as exciting. And it just kind of makes me wonder, like, is it really that great of a thing to experience absolutely everything to like the greatest extent? Or maybe sometimes it isn't. Maybe sometimes you want to preserve, I don't know. It's a weird
No,
it's a weird mental mindfuck, if that makes sense.
No, I totally understand what you're talking about. You know, and I think that's when it comes to where balance is key.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just finding that balance in your life where, you know, on times where you need that extra stimulation, you need to, you have that, you know, adventurous craving, you go and seek after it. But on times where you maybe not, you know, you just take a step back and maybe go into more chill mode and less adventure kind of thing. So
yeah, I'm hoping like,
oh, did you freeze?
I'm hoping a good little
no.
period of monk mode might bring me back to a base. But
I think it's never a bad thing just to adventure too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially like that was probably one of the best things, best advices people gave me. From just talking to a lot of people, like one of my last jobs before going full time in social media
Mm-hmm.
was I used to be a waiter at a restaurant in the airport, and I used to just talk to all the guests, and a lot of times I would just pick their brains, you know, especially the ones that you knew, you know, traveled a lot, had a little bit more money, you know, were successful. You know, I just picked their brains and asked them, you know, and a lot of times they would tell me to just travel as much as you can, get out, do as much as you can before you decide to settle down and you have kids and things, you know, just change from there. So I think that's why it took me so long to eventually settle down as well, because I just never felt like I was done traveling, you know, or done being the traveler type, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do agree with that. Okay.
But to be honest, kids don't really stop anything. It's really up to you.
Mm-hmm. It is a mindfuck, but you know, if we can experience what we want to experience and at least not have any regrets in life, I think that's the number one thing we could definitely do for ourselves.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, little quick change of pace.
And that's
top 3 anime waifus right now.
Top 3 anime waifus. That's a curveball. I thought you were asking me about animes. Okay, number 1, Mikasa.
Oh shit, that's mine.
Know, just something about her. Like I can't like pinpoint it, but her dedication to Eren, her badassness, her look, her swag.
Bro,
like
I gotta tell you something. I gotta tell everybody something. I don't know if this is. I can't believe I'm saying this live on air right now, but most of my friends know this. I have this thing where all the girls I date, for some reason, they all end up being bisexual, and they all end up being like having that short Mikasa hair, and they all end up being like girls that are like a little bit more like, you know, take charge and shit. I have like the same kind of fucking type, man. I swear to God, there's something about girls that like look like they would step on my face just turns me on.
That Mikasa's that girl
Yeah,
that's gonna step on your
I just
face.
want to be abused.
Hey, you know your type, man. You know your type. But yeah, Mikasa would be number 1. And number 2. Shoot, this is a hard one. I probably could find a better one. So, see, yeah, there's a difference between waifu are just, because we used to do the Smasher Pass for anime.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Smasher Pass is totally different than waifu, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I? For waifu, I think I have to go a little normal for the next one. But I think it'd be Asuna from Sword Art Online.
Ooh.
I mean,
like the sweet girl.
She's like a waifu. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. She's a waifu. She's a sweetheart.
Then I'm thinking about what you said, and then you want the more fun type that matches you.
Right.
And,
I hope any.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go for Asuna.
You're gonna go with Asuna?
I think I'm gonna go with Asuna for 2, and then for shit. Okay, I'm just spitballing from the top of my head. There's probably the better one, but third one I'm gonna go with. Have you seen shoot, what is that anime called? What is this anime called? Oh, have you seen Kakegurui?
No, I haven't.
It's a gambling anime. I want to say Jabami, the Yumeko.
Okay.
You should watch that anime.
Jabami?
It's pretty wild.
Jabami Yumeko.
Yumeko.
Ooh.
Yeah,
she's
it's
got high.
Kakegurui.
Look at that fucking hair.
Gambling anime.
The fucking bangs though.
Yeah.
And red eyes. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of bangs, but.
All right. Well, my top 3. I'm hoping that no girls are watching this right now because I'm realizing now, thinking about my top 3 waifus, is that I have a type. First one's Mikasa. Second one is Kagome from Inuyasha. And third one is Tamari from Naruto. They're all really, really fucking hardcore girls that would step on my face, apparently.
Oh, okay. I know who Kagome is.
Yeah, she
kind of looks like the Sailor Moon girl, right?
She kind of does. She's like a schoolgirl, and she's always yelling at Inuyasha and like arguing and fighting with him, and like she's always beating him up.
Oh. You like the strong girls. Yeah, Tamari. Yeah, I have to look it up. I hadn't watched Naruto so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah,
Who did? I think I like someone from Naruto. Can't remember who I thought was the best one out of Naruto. Anyways, yeah, that's a good 3, dude. Yeah, you definitely have a type.
Yeah, dude.
Watch Kakegurui. I think Yumeko would be right up there.
Okay.
She kind of crazy, kind of just passionate.
Okay.
I would say just passionate.
Okay.
You know, kind of crazy, kind of passionate, but very like strong-willed.
All right.
And I think would be kind of up your alley, right?
Yeah. Okay. A question asked. Someone else wanted to ask you this question. So, how did you do your Goku hairstyle?
Oh, okay. I did it. So, the first wig. Actually, I bought all my wigs. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just find them online. They're expensive as hell. I think they run about $300 to $500 per wig. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just buy it.
Damn, that's actually more expensive than I thought the wig would be. But
dude, it takes them a long time. If you like look at the wig, they like how they like structure it and just putting everything together and the glue that they use, and Dude, I can't even imagine how much hours it takes putting it together.
I can't either.
Like, I think when I first started cosplaying, I tried to look up a tutorial, and I just gave up immediately because it was just too ridiculous. And that's why they're kind of hard to find, you know?
Right. Honestly, I think when I lose all my hair, I'm just going to save money, and instead of getting a hair transplant, I'm just going to wear Goku wigs.
Dude, that's gonna be so uncomfortable.
I don't think anyone will ever realize. They won't even notice.
Or just get a hair transplant to look like Goku, the Goku hairstyle. Is that possible?
I wonder. Damn.
Maybe technology would be so good that there'd just be like, you know, like automation for the hair, you know? You just shave it all off, get something fake, and it just auto styles itself or something.
Right. What would you say was the biggest key to growing your physique?
Time and consistency.
Right.
Like, yeah, like I think I saw the biggest gains obviously when I first started working out from 15 to like 17, 18 years old. I literally went from 120 pounds, 119 pounds to like 170.
Damn, dude.
Within that span of like 2-3 years.
Fuck.
Yeah, I gained a lot of weight. Like, here, let's like, this was before social media. I'm so glad it was before social media, because back then we didn't have any resource, and everyone was saying, or whatever we read online was telling us to eat big to get big. So there wasn't aesthetics back then. Right. There wasn't like, oh, you know, have shredded abs 24/7 back then. All we had was the Arnold Bible and men's health, you know, or muscle and fitness or whatever. So yeah, like back then, even in high school, I was pounding 2 breakfasts every morning.
Sheesh.
2 to 3 lunches every lunch period. And that was so cheap back then too, because our breakfast was, dude, I'm not, so back then, I went to public school, by the way. Breakfast was 35 cents and lunch was $1. So it was so cheap back then. So we're pounding 2 breakfasts for 70 cents, 3 lunches for $3.
No
and they're like the school lunches, you know? Yeah, with the chocolate milk and everything.
Yeah. And
then after school, my good friend that got me into lifting, my boy Tyson, he would have his grandma take us to Taco Bell on our way home, and we get 2 of these. They're called the half. I don't think they. Do they have it anymore? But they're half-pound beef and potato burritos. They're the fattiest thing you can get at Taco Bell. I didn't know this until later, but I think they're around like 1,200 calories a burrito or something like that.
Oh my God.
Something insane. But literally, they have like tater tots inside the burrito, and they have obviously the beef and cheese and everything fatty you can imagine. We would eat 2 of those every single day, and then I would go home, or we'd usually like work out, whatever, and go home, eat a fat dinner, drink like a muscle milk protein shake. That was back before isolated whey proteins was a thing.
Yeah.
So everything was super fatty and calorie dense, but no, it tasted good back then, so it didn't matter,
Right.
And yeah, dude, we're just pounding food every single day, and we're just going to the gym like 5-6 days a week. Oh, sorry, I think my headphones died.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, sorry, my headphones died. Let me grab something else.
Yeah. Your mic actually sounds a lot better all of a sudden.
Your mic actually sounds a lot better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Should I just keep it on this one then?
It's up to you.
Oh, I don't care, whatever.
All right, bet.
Yeah, let me try to plug it in. It might mess up the audio from the camera though.
Yeah, I feel like
it just has to balance on my cord.
I feel like the audio from your camera might sound better. We'd probably end up using that instead of the computer audio, but we'll see.
But yeah. Oh, does it sound okay now?
Oh, it sounds good.
Oh, okay, let me just try.
Honestly, this sounds the best. Kind of wish you were using this instead of the fucking AirPods.
Oh shit, we should have tested it earlier.
Damn, this sounds amazing. The AirPods sounded like shit. I couldn't hear you at all.
Dude, Apple, that's why, dude. These are the Samsung.
Yes. Let's go.
Oh shit.
Asian products are the best.
Hopefully the mic probably picked up some good audio. I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just like eating to grow, and that's how we grew like to 170. And then I saw the next jump, and this is when I kind of first started researching more into lifting and stuff. When I hit about year 8 through 10, I started learning about frequency, volume,
Gotcha.
just working out, hypertrophy, and just understanding everything. And that's when my physique took the next jump. And then, then I think from like the year 10 to 15 was probably my best like lifting years.
Okay, gotcha.
When I was on YouTube getting strong as fuck, I think I hit a 225 overhead press at like 175 pounds.
225?
Hit the 315 incline.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I was fucking inspired by Matt Ogus, seeing him rep out 225. And then I just thought, oh yeah, I can do that. So
Matt Ogus is
dude, it wasn't fun,
Matt
though.
Ogus is an OHP alien, bro. He doesn't count.
He's a beast. He's a
his overhead press is absolutely fucking nuts, especially for his height
that
and
guy's
weight.
just so strong. I
don't
know,
get it, dude.
Yeah, so that's on the to-do list one day. Is have you ever worked out with him yet?
No, I haven't, but I tried doing heavy OHPs because of him, and now my shoulders have a shoulder impingement. I'm fucked up, and I can't do OHP anymore. So fuck you, Matt Ogus.
Dude, I got huge shoulder impingement from the OHP, but I think I just programmed it too hard.
Yeah.
Like, when you're on that grind to hit that next level, hit those things.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck it, man.
It's always
my shoulder was fucked, but still.
it's always going for the PRs too that fuck me up.
Yeah. But fuck it, I hit it. I got it on tape. It counts.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. As long as there's a record, then you can.
You need the proof, right?
I would give away my shoulder joints just for a video of me doing 225 OHP.
That's pretty much what I was really willing to sacrifice, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my shoulders are so fucked towards the end of that training cycle, but yeah. As long as you hit it.
Okay. So where do you think anime will be 10 years from now?
Oh, good question. I think it's gonna be, if it's not mainstream already, I think it's gonna be considered on the mainstream side.
Okay.
Even more on the mainstream side,
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like it's mainstream already, though. To be honest, man, like looking at TikTok especially, it's like fucking mainstream. It's like if you don't watch anime, you're not in. You're not cool anymore. It's weird. It's fucking weird to me.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. Where could it go? That is a question, Like how much bigger could it get?
Yeah, I'm very curious about that for sure. It's definitely huge now, though.
There's gonna be more cons probably. There's gonna be, I don't know if there would, because there's so many animes.
So many.
Like you go to Japan, it's stupid how many animes you look around and you don't know what the hell these things, what they're selling, who these people are, but you see it just all over the place, and it makes you realize like one of these, so there's this store in Japan called Animate. They're known for being like the anime store, and they have their flagship store in Tokyo. It's literally 9 floors of just straight anime.
Oh my god.
And it's
that sounds
so
orgasmic.
big that one of the floors is just straight, and I didn't even know this was like a thing on anime, but straight like gay anime. Like we went to like the second floor and we were walking around, and then I noticed all the covers were just dudes. And I'm just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And I was just like, whatever, I just like browsing around, trying to look around and stuff. And then I just noticed more dudes and more dudes and more dudes. And then I noticed dudes holding each other and dudes cuddling with each other. And I'm like, what's going on? And dude, that's how big anime is. They have their own like gay floor for anime.
That's crazy, dude.
It's a trip. Yeah. And like, yeah, Japan's just next level.
That's sick.
You gotta go, dude.
That's sick, dude.
You gotta go. You're gonna fall in love. But yeah, obviously, like. Yeah.
Now I'm curious what all the other floors are. I bet there's one floor for octopus.
They did have a hentai floor, actually. We didn't browse the hentai floor just because we had the Akami with us.
Oh my god!
And we didn't want people judging us.
Wait, you had who with you?
We got the baby and stuff. Akami, the baby.
Oh.
Well, yeah, we had our baby with us, so we didn't want to go through the hentai floor with our stroller.
That's hilarious.
Everyone just judging us, But yeah. Japan's just wild. Like even like we went to like this 9-story sex shop that was in Japan.
Yeah.
It was like the most wild shit ever, dude. One of the floors was dedicated to just sex dolls.
Whoa.
Dude, the 9th floor, like hardcore sex dolls,
Sex
like
AIs.
life size in glass boxes, just all over the place. And they're expensive. They're like $5,000, $10,000, and they'll make them exactly like they look like in the animes.
Dude, I think that's such a big thing in Japan though. I'm like, that's why I'm sure Chobits came out. It's because I don't know why Japan really loves their sex dolls. They're really expensive sex dolls.
Like, for like a culture that's kind of more like to themselves, you know, like it's just wild how like they have these like sex stores and everything else is just, you know, even though they're anime, everything is just off the charts, you know.
I think Japan is really just.
I'll tell you one more thing about that sex store. That was just weird though. We actually talked about it in a video, just because the experience was just so bizarre. You know, like every floor was something different. But on one of the floors, so me and Sandra went in there. This was before Akame, obviously. So one of the floors, so we're running around like kids in a candy store at this point, because I've never really been into too many stores like this. So we're just kind of like laughing, giggling, just running around, you know, having a good time. It was to the point where even in their floors, they had sealed, signed autographs of different JAB stars on their covers, and they had it in the ground. Like they put like what's that sealant? They put like a sealant over the oh shit, my camera just died. But they put like a sealant over the autograph.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was all in the grounds of the stuff, everywhere you walked. So one of the places, we saw a poop emoji hanging over. You know how like they show like, okay, this section is this section is this. So I saw a random poop emoji just floating in the middle of the store. So I thought it was funny. So I went and ran to it, you know, not knowing what it was. Yeah. They had a whole section full of poop porn or whatever you call it. Like it was literally people covered in feces.
What?
Like, yeah, that's like, dude, Japan is so wild. Like, the whole section, it was just people covered in feces. Like, wow. It kind of scarred my brain. So it was like images that I'll never forget.
That sounds amazing. I can't wait to move.
It was just so wild, dude.
That's yeah.
I don't know if that's up your alley, but
my friend actually just texted me when I'm coming to Japan, so I'm going to text him probably next week.
Dude, you should do it.
I just need to see feces on people's faces.
It's so weird, dude.
Craziness.
Oh yeah, and then right next to it was another aisle that was for people who's into I don't even want to talk about this on the podcast, so fuck it, I'll just talk about it. Transparent, right?
Yeah.
The next aisle was, I hope it wasn't underage girls, but it was girls who looked underage.
Oh shit.
Like girls who looked really small and young.
Oh shit.
It was really awkward. Yeah, once I saw that, we bounced. No, actually, honestly, once we saw the poop, I started bouncing. But on the way out, we saw that. Well, on the way out, we saw that too.
Damn, where was this?
Yeah, like it's so weird. It was, I don't even remember what the sex shop was called. But it was like a popular one. It's like 9 floors.
Okay.
I'm sure if you type in like 9 floors sex shop in Japan, it'll pop up.
Yeah.
Or they probably have multiple of them.
Okay. Well, number 1 on my list to visit in Japan then. All right. Well, thanks
poop
again.
Porn. You can have like Google Translate poop porn and you just show it to them. Everyone walking around.
All right. I got to wrap this up. But dude, thanks again for being on the podcast. This was super fucking fun. This was dope.
No,
like I told you,
for
dude.
Having me. Sorry for fucking it up, man.
No, you're good, bro. That was amazing. I told you, like literally, the podcast just goes. I don't have to prepare anything. I'll just have conversation with the guests, and it just won't stop. Especially if it's someone that I vibe with. So I appreciate that, dude.
No, I appreciate you for having me, man. Yeah, had a lot of fun, dude. Definitely think I'll do more podcasts. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Where can we find you?
Oh, you can check me out Instagram. All social media is pretty much at Gokuflex.
Yeah, Gokuflex, right? And the legendary Gokuflex YouTube.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. Check it all out.
Is there anything else you want to share with the audience or anything before you go?
Nope. Yeah, that's all. Time and consistency.
All right.
Don't be a yamcha. That's it.
Well, thank you guys so much. You can support the podcast by using code Nyle for Young LA clothing or for huge supplements. It's the best way to help fund the podcast because it's the only way that I can fund the podcast or the editors whatsoever. But if you do really appreciate this podcast, please support it in the best non-cost way, which is to rate it a 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel. So thanks again, everyone. Transparent, Gokuflex. Peace, guys.